Jack Nolan with Irish head coach Brian Kelly here in Culver. Day 3 on the field is in the books. A lot more work to do the rest of the day, though.
Oh yeah, we've got meetings, film evaluation, and we put the pads on today. It really doesn't change a lot other than there's a little bit more safety. You worry the first couple of days, the guys try to do a little bit too much. Maybe as coaches we do a little bit too much, and now with the pads on, you have a better environment for your offensive linemen and defensive linemen. But it concerns me the first day you put the pads on, they start to jump forward a little bit too far, forget a little bit about the technique and certainly the assignments and the technical things. And we got a little sloppy on both sides of the ball a little bit, but it was a good message to the group and the guys to remember why we're here. We're not going to beat Temple today. This is not about worrying about scrimmaging. That's in front of us. But I think the guys really understood how important it is each and every day to come out here and really hone their craft. So when we get to Temple, we've got all of those things down and the habits that we need to beat them.
And when you talk about pads, you're talking just shoulder pads. Full pads not till Saturday.
Right.
But it was good that you could do that because these guys have been aggressive since day one, to the point that you've even have to scold a few guys who are having trouble holding back, and tackling technique's been great. You just haven't wanted them to tackle yet.
Yeah, there's no tackling out here. It's really a tag off. We were in a thud situation today where we let the guys use their pads a little bit more. But again, I think you got to be careful, because what are you trying to achieve in the first 3 or 4 days? And it's really about technique and assignment and laying down the programming that you want these guys to get down, so when you get to game week and game situations that they have the assignments and they have the technique. So again, as I said, I'll tell you exactly what I told our team is that we've got the effort, the care factor is there. They want to really do well, but they've got to pull it back a little bit and really understand that we're not going to beat Temple today. We're going to lose to Temple if we forget where we are in camp, and that is day 3. Work on your assignments, work on your technique. Let's not get sloppy, and I thought at times we got a little sloppy today.
Never enough time for the coaching staff, but still a lot of time between now and Temple. Day 3, what have you been happy with so far, and what do you need to see improvement in tomorrow?
Well, we continue to do some really good things in the back end of our defense. The flexibility of 5 or 6 guys in the back end that are continuing to move forward, and Vaughn and certainly Crawford, having those guys. Vaughn healthy now as a freshman last year. He was new to the scheme of things, but seeing him mature. Nick Watkins back is really a boost. As I mentioned, Sean Crawford. Nick Coleman's coming back and getting some reps for us at the safety position. So the versatility that we have there, Julian Love, nice to see that mix going. And I think I like that. We're still kind of sorting out the wide receiver position, but Freddie Canteen, Cam Smith really add some maturity to the ranks. EQ has been outstanding and consistent. So really just trying to settle in on what that rotation is going to be in the back end of the defense, what that rotation is going to look like at the wide receiver position. And quite frankly, I think our technique is so much more improved up front with our defensive line. So there's a lot of really positive things, but again, Jack, at the end of the day, we're 3 days into it, and we got to really come back tomorrow and focus in on the details.
Some folks wonder why Culver, the infrastructure here is so great now. Our photographer, Randy Orek, loves this view.
Yeah, we look a little
Lake Maxinkuckee.
We look like we're on vacation down here, but I can assure our fans it's not vacation. We're working hard, and our guys are working hard too. They're taking care of their bodies. They're, obviously they lose a lot of weight. Some guys will lose up to 7 pounds of body weight, but they've got to do a great job of rehydrating, eating, doing all those things. So they're back at it. We'll give them some lunch. They'll get into the training room. We've been weight training since we've been down here as well. We had a good weight training day. This afternoon we'll come back with some meetings and then have some special teams walkthroughs. So it's a pretty busy afternoon and evening as well.
All right, Coach, thank you very, very much.
Thanks,
and we're about 300 yards away from beautiful Lake Maxinkuckee, but I can tell you the work is done here in the dorms, in the meeting rooms. Sunday they'll have a little fun on the lake, but it's a working trip and a lot of work is getting done. With Coach Brian Kelly, I'm Jack Nolan for Fighting Irish Media. As always, this report brought to you by our friends at St. Joseph Health System.